Hey everybody, we've been getting tons of questions about fertilizer, so I thought I would take a little bit of time and walk you through what I have in my own private stash of fertilizer. I think you're really going to enjoy this video. So take notes, and remember, I'm here for any questions that you might have after the video. Live from the help desk, it's me, Nikki. I wanted to make this video for quite a while now, and I finally got around to it, so woohoo guys, how exciting. I'm going to walk you through what I have in my own personal fertilizer stash, tell you which ones are good for what, and what you should probably have, and one thing that you probably shouldn't. So, what do you have in your fertilizer stash? I see a lot of people say that they have this here. Now this is good for use on something that you don't care to keep for a long time. So this is something that you don't want to use on your bonsai. Now if you want to use this with your edible flowers, with anything that is going to last less than say 6 months, this is fine. Now what this product is going to do is it's going to promote a lot of vigorous growth without much sustainability. So it'll be almost like a steroid shot for your little plant. It'll grow really fast, but sometimes it will not have enough root system to sustain the stuff on top. So this I don't strongly recommend unless you're just trying to give them a little jolt of energy, or if it's something that you don't care to keep for a long time. Now I don't hate this product. Like I said, I have it, so obviously I use it, but I use it just for these little guys here. You know, my little violas. I mean, they're going to die when it gets hot anyway, so who cares. And then my next product, rooting powder. This is going to be my favorite brand. There are other brands out there, whatever. But the rooting powder is going to be really beneficial to sprinkle into your topsoil after you transplant. So when you transplant, your plant is going to be really sort of overwhelmed. It's going to be trying to establish new roots in new soil, sometimes in a new environment, sometimes in an all new pot. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on that is just going to stress your plant out. The last thing you want is some fungus or any sort of growing organisms to attach to those roots that are struggling so hard to reestablish themselves. Now the rooting hormone is going to work to abolish any of those little organisms that might try to start feeding off of your less than healthy roots. You could also use this for cuttings. I don't do too many cuttings. I have a few cuttings here, my kalanchoe. But that's just handy to have around if you're going to transplant. I didn't include this in the transplanting video because it's not necessary. It's just one of those extra steps that I like to take. Now, I've seen a lot of people talk about this product, Pump and Grow by Dr. Earth. Now, what this is liquid compost, more or less. If you read the label here, which I'm going to do another video that walks you through a nutrient breakdown, it just says digested food materials. So you use kind of your imagination there. Digested food is compost. And they put it into liquid, and they put it in this easy to squirt form, which is wonderful. It does a lot for your soil. It boosts up the organic matter, and it's going to feed your little plants all the micronutrients that they've been looking for. This is not rich in micronutrients, however. It's got a lot of nitrogen, potassium, and phosphate, but just trace of those micros. One thing I have noticed with this, and I do like it, I have to say, it's doing really great for my cucumbers over there. They bloomed this morning. It was so exciting. That on the label, it does say water immediately after. And I said, yeah, okay, whatever. I'll do it in the morning. I was tired that night. I got up the next morning, and I had some funky stuff growing on my soil. I tell you what. I said, what the heck? Now I just scratched it around, watered it in, and it went away. It wasn't that big of a deal. So if you are going to use the Pump and Grow, make sure that you do water it in so that you could just avoid the funky stuff altogether. I know it was kind of a panic for me. I said, I've never seen this. It was almost like a mushroom. It was really gross. Now this is also great because you don't have to measure into a watering can, but I do. It avoids any of that funky stuff coming up. I do like 2 squirts in this size, and then I water all of my little plants with it. And it works really good. I do it every time I water. There's no real reason not to use it every time you water because it is such a low concentration, you can't burn anyways. So, I mean, you might as well do a little bit extra than not enough. Now, it is really good for starting your veggies inside. Since it is non-GMO and almost organic, it's going to be good along the line. It's not chemically based like that stuff. Now, this stuff here, it's funny because I went to the vitamin shop the other day and I found this in pill form. I'm like, wait a minute, I could put that in my body and it's good for my plants as well. Vitamin B1. Now, this is awesome stuff to stimulate root growth and help slowly add iron to your soil. Now, especially with the bonsais, I'm seeing that some people have yellowing of the leaves, and that's usually either a nitrogen or iron deficiency. Now, vitamin B1 is going to keep that iron level sustained. It's not going to pump a bunch in there that the plant can't take up right away. It's just going to keep like a trickle to that soil so that you never become depleted in the first place. I use that maybe every 2 weeks, and I just put it in when I use that. You can mix, it's okay. You won't have explosions. At least I haven't had any yet. But this is good. This is by a company called Western States. There's other companies out there that make a really good one. There's also, I believe it's called CalMag, that a lot of the hydroponic people use, and it's good as well. Like I said, it's really good for root growth. It's not going to give you any real overnight visible results like maybe the Dr. Now we're going to get to my absolute favorite plant supplement. We're not calling it a fertilizer because it's not going to promote a whole bunch of rigorous new growth. Superthrive. Now I have a long story about Superthrive that will bore the pants off of you that I could tell you, but I'm not going to. So, you know, if you want to hear the whole story, just send me a message. I'll bore you that way. But Superthrive is really great. It's been around since like the 20s. And it was actually invented to try to help sustain the vegetables and all the gardening and stuff that was going on with the Victory Gardens, and then later on during World War II trying to make crops. Anyways, long story short, what it does is it makes the plant healthy. It makes sure that the plant can sustain being too dry for a little while, being too wet for a little while, not enough sun, too much sun. All the things that could stress a plant out, this is formulated with all of the micronutrients that are going to go in there and fortify your plant so that it is super strong, so that it could say, okay, whatever, I'm not going to die because I'm stressed out this time, which is what happens when you feed them this. When they're not overall healthy, when they have like other things going on, this will go in there and it'll say, oh, you're not feeling good here, have some zinc. That'll make you feel better. Oh, you're feeling a little peckish or your stems aren't quite strong enough here, have some calcium. It'll strengthen them a bit. And that's why Superthrive is really cool. Now, it's not high in nitrogen, so you're not going to see a bunch of rapid green growth. You're not going to see like a whole blossom of flowers overnight. This is more of an invisible food. You won't see it do anything, but you will see long-term results with it. I always use it in my little gallon guy here. I do a capful per gallon. Now you could do 2 capfuls per gallon. You could pour this cotton picket thing all the way in there, but you'll just waste it. There's no need to go overboard on it. You could even go as high a concentration as 1 of these capfuls per liter of water. It works really well to build up all of the nutrients in the soil and just keep it healthy. You could use this every time you water as well. Really good stuff. They have changed their concentration and their formulation a little bit over the time, or over the course of years. I think they are using some fish emulsion in some of the, there's 2 different ones, one for tomatoes, one just regular. I think they have the fish emulsion in one of them. So if you have seafood allergies, you might want to stay away from it. But anyways, that was my breakdown on fertilizers. Super quick. I wasn't going to get too boring. Hopefully I didn't get too boring, and if I did, give me a... Of course, don't vote whatever they do on YouTube. But, as always, thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're friendly. You see, I sit here, my computer's under here, and I answer all your questions there, and I love them. I love the questions. So shoot us a message at shopgardenrepublic.com. Find us on Facebook. We're super friendly there. We got lots of content. We've got the Instagram, so do the Garden Republic if you have something really cool to share. Or, you know, just comment on this video. I'll screen them, and if you have any intricate questions or comments or concerns, I'm here for you. So, happy gardening, everyone.